Hi, everyone. Welcome back to She Blurs podcast. Today's guest is Maria. Hi, Maria.
Oh, Marla, hi.
Mar- it looks like an eye right there. I don't know why I see
It
eye.
happens all the time. It's a Latin thing. No worries.
How are you?
Oh, wonderful, Brooke. Thanks for having me on. I'm so honored. Really, I'm
Thank
excited.
Thank you so much for being a guest. I'm honored to have you as a guest because your book has been getting amazing feedback from what you said. That's
Thank you.
amazing.
Thank you.
so,
Thank
so Marla is the author of Jasmine Breeze. So, can you tell us, our listeners, what inspired you to write Jasmine Breeze?
Excellent. Well, I always think about people that are the underdog or that
Mhm,
are ostracized in society. And I
mhm,
always want people to feel welcome
right.
or like enveloped. So
Mhm,
for those people, whether they're Afro American,
mhm,
uh, gay, uh, have mental uh, challenges,
mhm,
people need to understand that everybody's a human being, that we all have baggage,
mhm,
and we shouldn't judge, we shouldn't condemn, but we should understand
right.
and accept people for how we are.
Mhm,
Um, Another aspect, I was in Teach for America. And I'm 52 now. I wrote this in my early 20s,
wow.
and it was amazing. I was living in Southern Louisiana, where most of the setting takes place for Jasmine Breeze, and teaching French. And the French teachers, they were so beautiful. They were feminine. They were glamorous. Yet some were openly gay and bisexual, and they were so proud about it. When you have stereotypes, and it was like,
Mhm,
wow, they're heartbreakers to men because they had no idea of, their sexual orientation.
mhm,
And one young lady, she was also biracial, but she passed for white. And Jasmine Breeze is really multi-layered.
mhm,
Her character passes for white. And for your viewers who don't understand that, it
mhm,
is many people around the European diaspora will see biracial or multiracial people who are very, very, very fair skinned, and
mhm,
especially living in like places like Louisiana and other places, and perceive these people as part of their group and just think, okay, they're white. While people of color, we seem to always have an intuition to know, well, maybe her hair grade is a little, frizzy on the side, or she's got a
Yeah.
swag, she's got those hips. There's some African DNA or black going on in there. So we kind of always know. But this is where I'm going. I'm trying to show we are human family, we're global family. Um, and I wrote this during when OJ Simpson was being convicted. And I tell you, Brooke, when we were eating in the cafeteria, you had all whites on one side, all blacks and minorities sitting together on the other side. And I feel like
Wow.
this is a resurgence of the same thing with the January insurrection. The racism that's going on in this country is outlandish. And I love the United States. I love our democracy, and I'm trying to heal. I think this
Mhm,
book is a way of bridging gaps. We need to heal each other. We need to see, hey, you bleed red blood just as I do. We have the
mhm,
same hopes and aspirations, but it's
mhm.
just too much negativity that's going on. And I'm afraid we're like pre Civil War again if
Um,
we don't find a compromise. You know, that's where I am
mhm,
with this. I'm really hoping and praying that we can unify, not just in the United States, but around the world. There's
mhm,
too much emphasis on race
right.
and, somebody's sexual orientation and this
Mhm.
and that. It's out of control, and it shouldn't
I
be.
I agree. 1,000% I agree. And the
It's
reason why I think those things happen is because people hate what they don't understand. If they don't understand where you're coming from and how you grew up and where you lived and your backstory, they're going to hate you for how you are now, even though they don't know anything about you. So they're going to automatically judge you.
exactly. And another thing, Brooke, the escalation of suicides
Hmm.
with the LBGT community,
Oh
you
my
know, because they feel like they can't be accepted by their family, their
God.
friends. They you know, they live a double life, they hide it. So that's another thing. I'm just trying to save lives. I'm just trying to be inclusive. You know,
Mhm,
no more of this exclusion. We are one people. Let's move forward. Let's try to,
mhm,
you know, do right by our planet, take care of the environment, you know, make good, positive role models for the younger generation.
mhm.
This fighting it needs to stop. It has to cease and desist
I
today.
agree.
Yeah,
I
and
agree.
that's what I'm really trying to save some lives here because it's getting hot. It's getting very hot all over the world.
Yeah, definitely. Can you give our listeners, like, do you have your book with you?
Yes, ma'am.
You do? Can you show us? And can
Uh,
you give us like a brief summary of the book?
Absolutely. Let me just grab my book. Excuse me. Um, it's right behind me. Sorry about that.
It's all right.
Real quick. Okay. And I'll give you a brief summary. I'm right here.
All right.
Okay, here we are, dear. All right.
Okay.
I'll show you the front and then the back. And the excellent part, Brooke, about the front of the book, this is yin and yang.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, yes,
Healing.
ma'am. That is what inspired my cover. Taoism from the Chinese. And Taoism is pure equanimity.
Yes.
There is no taking sides, no stances. We are
Hmm.
going with the flow with
Hmm.
life. I
Yeah.
mean, and so many human beings, we have so many strong opinions about everything. We can't
Exactly.
take a breath and say,
Hmm.
okay, someone thinks differently than me. I don't
Hmm.
need to stop speaking to them. I don't need to think about how I can harm them or make them miserable. It
Right.
just is. We're unique beings. But this
Exactly.
cover, it exemplifies the yin and yang um, from Taoism. Now,
Hmm.
the summary of the book, that theme is throughout. It is
Hmm.
throughout. And Jasmine Breeze, let me just tell you who she is. She represents love, equanimity, duality, the winds of change, and now the present moment. And you say, Brooke, well, why now? Is because she is biracial. Okay, we have a lot of famous biracial, President Obama, Meghan Merkel, but they don't pass as white. She
Hmm.
passes as white. And what she learns is that loving herself is a crucial element of her life because her self acceptance will give birth to indifference of external validation. And,
Hmm.
you know, we're always seeking on these social networks, we're looking for people to give us kudos all the time. I'm also trying to instill self love,
Hmm.
self love. And most importantly, Jasmine's able to make harmonious connections with everything enveloped in our universe and cosmos by transcendence of her ego. And again, the theme goes back to Taoism from China. You know, letting go of your ego. Stop competing and comparing yourself with others and accept yourself for who you are and love yourself for who you truly are. And oh, this is such a timely, wonderful interview. Brooke, there's a movie out called Passing, and the actress and director, her name is Rebecca Maria Hall.
Hmm.
And this is a new film. It's coming out on Netflix on November 10th. It's already in London, but it's premised upon the 1929 novel of the same name by Nella Larson. And I was so excited. I'm like, oh my goodness. And I love the actress Rebecca Maria Hall. She grew up in London. Her mother's Afro of African descent, but she passes as white. You could never tell.
Wow.
And but Brooke, this is so awesome. You know, I'm not bragging. I'm just saying I'm very intuitive. This
Hmm.
book right here, it's doing so well and it's written with so much dialogue, it easily transforms into a screenplay, thus a film. And I
Oh.
would love Rebecca Maria Hall to star as Jasmine Breeze. You know, she has the look of Jennifer Beals. Um, uh, I can't think of her name. Rashida. her father's
I know
famous.
what you're talking about. She passes for white too, and so does Jennifer
Yes.
Gills.
Um,
Yeah.
I can't think
Um,
of her
I know,
father's
I know
name.
who, she's the girl that played in Bridesmaid. She played the bride.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah. And Jasmine's in her early 20s. So it's like the main characters of the book and film of passing,
Hmm.
it augments the one drop rule that was divides right here in the United States.
Right.
So but Jasmine is a little deeper than just race because the profundity of this book, Jasmine Breeze, is very multidimensional. We're talking about
Hmm.
bisexuality, right?
Hmm.
She hides this from her family. Very few
It,
people
it,
know
it,
that Jasmine is runs,
I
both
think
ways.
it's harder. I think it's harder for like biracial people to come out to like the black side of their family. Like I feel like
Yes.
I feel like more of like I'm not trying to be mean, but like
No,
I
be
feel like
honest.
some white families are more accepting than black families when it comes to
And
your
I
child
have to
being
agree with you on that. And Brooke, I'm going to tell you why. I also address the practice of alternative religions. Now,
oh.
um, Christianity and Islam
Hmm.
are very critical of gay lifestyles. Um,
Hmm.
people believe there are passages as to why this is an evil or sinful act. And some
Hmm.
Hindus do from India as well. It was a great movie. I
Wow.
can't think of the name, but many religions around the world. So the two alternative religions that I talk about in Jasmine Breeze in Louisiana is the voodoo system from Benin, West Africa, which many Haitian slaves went to New Orleans and
Wow.
hid that under the guise of Catholicism.
Hmm.
And her mother's side, Jasmine's mother's side, is from Ireland, but she has gypsy blood. So they did a lot of the Celtic beliefs. Like Halloween, for example, is really a Celtic Irish tradition where they
Uh-huh.
believe a portal to the other side, the other world, the underworld was in wells, but
Hmm.
water wells in the ground.
Right.
So I really go heavy into that and to show how not to demonize Christianity, but to show how it can make people of other religions, even
Hmm.
our agnostic and atheist community, feel
Right.
uncomfortable. And
Yeah. Yeah.
I love you touch on the Afro American community, and not just
Hmm.
us, the Latinas
Yeah.
community as well. They're heavy Catholic and heavy Christian,
Hmm.
and sometimes it's so hard for us to say, okay, you're this way, I can't accept that. And so
Right.
the condemnation comes, the put down, and then you have suicide as a result,
Hmm.
or worse, illicit drug abuse, which is
Right.
also in the book. Um,
That's true.
and yeah, and I'm thinking about, the horrific opioid epidemic that we're having today.
Oh
So this
wow.
book really resonates with now,
Hmm. That's
really.
amazing. That's amazing. I'm gonna have to check that book out and do it on my book review because I have a book review podcast. So I'm gonna get that book and do it
Oh,
and read
please. I oh my goodness, please do that. I'm looking for a very thorough and honest review. I
it.
mean, I want, somebody who's strong and honest. I can hurt my feelings. I want to know what you liked, what you
Mhm.
didn't like. Oh, I look so forward to it. Please, I would
Mhm.
beg, and I could send you a copy just for being nice enough to do a review for me. I would
Oh.
love to send you a copy if you
I
don't
got,
mind.
I do have a huge to be read list, so it may take
Okay.
me a little bit till next year.
I respect that. I respect it. But I welcome reviews, really, because I think that empowers me as an author to be better. What did I miss?
Right.
What am I not saying? Or, if I'm doing something well, continue that.
Mhm.
Feedback, we all need feedback. I think, and I believe learning is a lifelong process. So
Mhm.
you're a rock star. You girl, you
Thank
brought up some great points. Thank you.
you. I want to thank you so much, Marla, for coming on my podcast today and chat with me about Jasmine Breeze. I'm super excited to read it.
Thank you. It's been such an honor, Brooke. Really. Um, And I just hope that, in all seriousness, it's been a blessing. I want to thank Fiona Rowe
Mhm.
and Olympia Publishers from London, England for doing this. This has just been an amazing trip. This has really been, I have to pinch myself. And it's,
Right.
it took me 25 years to finish, and it was for COVID
Mhm.
19. I had nothing to do. And I'm like, hey,
You
there's
finally
a
finished.
manuscript in there. I better finish it. So I want to just shout out much love to Olympia Publishers and you and so many others that are really disseminating the message of peace
Mhm.
and um, inclusivity. I really appreciate that. That's where we are. No matter what your beliefs are, I
Mhm.
just want to get us united as a
Mhm.
human family, as a global family.
That's amazing. You have a great day, Marla.
Okay, Brooke, thank you, dear. You too.
Bye.
All right, bye bye, dear. Bye. Thank you.
Hey everyone, I want to thank you all so much for listening to my interview with Marla. So, on my website, which I've linked below, it is tinkering below. Go on my website, find Marla's interview, and on there it has her website where you can purchase her book, Jasmine Breeze. And by the way she's speaking about it, it could probably change the world. And I'm super excited she wrote this book. And from the summary that she told the listeners, it really has a really strong message. I hope you all check it out, and thank you all so much for listening. Thank you all so much for your support. You have a great day and make great choices. Bye.